Hi everyone and welcome back to English with Yubin, and for today's video we are going to be going over the next 3 chapters of the book Wonder, and so I've gone ahead and read from Christopher's house to paging Mr. Tishman, and in case you haven't read those chapters yet, take this opportunity to pause the video and read those 3 chapters and then come back. And I have compiled a list of some of the words and phrases that I thought would be helpful for you guys. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so starting off with the chapter Christopher's house, I have highlighted 4 different phrases that I thought would be useful. And starting off with the first one, I was really bummed. This just means you were really upset or really disappointed, and other ways you might have heard this phrase said in similar ways is that's such a bummer and what a bummer. But with the last 2, that's such a bummer and what a bummer, it's normally you saying it to another person who's going through something that might have disappointed them. So we'll practice all 3. The first one, I was really bummed. I was really bummed. I was really bummed. And the other 2, that's such a bummer. That's such a bummer. That's such a bummer. And the last one, what a bummer. What a bummer. Oh, what a bummer. And secondly, we have case closed, and when you use the phrase case closed, you're saying that it's final and that's the end. So in this situation, Augie's mum is asking him if he's ready to go to a school, and both Augie and his dad don't think he's ready to go to a proper school yet, rather than being homeschooled. So they say, no, then that's it, case closed. So repeat after me. No, then that's it. Case closed. One more time. No, then that's it. Case closed. No, then that's it. Case closed. Thirdly, we have a good fit for you, and that just means that it would be perfect for you. So for example, if you had the right skills and the right qualifications for a certain job or a position, then you could say that it would be a great fit for you. So repeat after me. You would be a great or good fit for the job or the role. Repeat again. You would be a great or good fit for the job or the role. You would be a great or a good fit for the job or the role. And lastly, in this chapter, we have figure it out. And that just means to work it out. So for example, if you had a fight with your siblings, then your parents might just leave you to it to figure it out amongst yourselves. So shall we try repeating it? If you had a fight with your sibling, your parents might leave you to it to figure it out amongst yourselves. One more time. If you had a fight with your sibling, your parents might leave you to it to figure it out amongst yourselves. In real time, if you had a fight with your sibling, then your parents might just leave you to it to figure it out amongst yourselves. Moving on to the next chapter, which is called driving, and this is actually where I highlighted the majority of the words and phrases from, so there's a good chunk here. But starting off with the first word, we have drool, and that's basically when you have saliva just coming out of your mouth, mostly when you're sleeping, but also if you're staring off into the abyss and you just have saliva coming out of your mouth, that is what drooling is. So do you want to repeat after me? Drool, drool. So for example, my niece drools quite a bit. One more time. My niece drools quite a bit. My niece tends to drool quite a bit. The next phrase we have is like a lamb to the slaughter. And in this example in the book, his parents are sending him off to school like a lamb to the slaughter. So What does this mean? It means his parents are sending him off to school without Augie knowing that something bad could or will happen to him. So he's calm and he doesn't really fight hard against the decision to send him to school. So do you want to repeat after me? Like a lamb to the slaughter. One more time. Like a lamb to the slaughter. So Augie's parents are sending him off to school like a lamb to the slaughter. The next phrase we have is you get all worked up about it, and that basically means that you get really upset or really angry about something. So for example, when people are rude to waiters, it gets me all worked up. One more time. When people are rude to waiters, it gets me all worked up. When people are rude to waiters, it gets me really worked up. Then we have in hindsight, and this means that when you're looking back at an event that happened in the past and you start to realize or understand something about it that you didn't at the time. And most of the time you wish that you did something differently. So for example, in hindsight, I probably should have joined more societies in university. One more time. In hindsight, I probably should have joined more societies in university. So in hindsight, yeah, I probably should have joined more societies in university. Next we have a white lie, and this is just a small little lie that's mostly harmless and it's mostly used to avoid hurting other people's feelings. So do you want to repeat after me? A white lie. A white lie. Next we have the phrase, but I wasn't in the mood for that now. And a different way of saying this is, I don't feel like it, both of which mean that you don't want to do something. So for example, if someone asks you, do you want to go to the movies? Then you could say, no, I'm not in the mood to go out. One more time. If someone asks you, do you want to go to the movies? Then you could say, no, I'm not in the mood to go out. Or, I don't feel like it. The next phrase we have is making up your mind or making up my mind. And this is when you're deciding what to do. So the example I have for this is quite a long sentence, so bear with me. So, for example, I have to decide what I want for dinner, pasta or pizza, but I can't make up my mind. One more time. I have to decide what I want for dinner, pasta or pizza, but I can't make up my mind. I have to decide what I want for dinner, pasta or pizza, but I can't make up my mind. Then we have who, what, where, why, and how on earth. So this is when you want to emphasize the who, the what, the where, the why, or the how, normally in quite a negative way. So I have examples for each of these, and I'll say them for you twice slowly, and you can repeat them after me, and I'll also say it once, real-time speed. So, the first one. Who on earth would wear a fur coat in the summer? One more time. Who on earth would wear a fur coat in the summer? Who on earth would wear a fur coat in the summer? What on earth is that noise? One more time. What on earth is that noise? What on earth is that noise? Where on earth did you get this chocolate from? One more time. Where on earth did you get this chocolate from? Where on earth did you get this chocolate from? Because I've had many experiences where I've had really bad quality chocolate, so that's why I included that sentence. But moving swiftly on, the next one we have is, why on earth would I go out when it's raining? Why on earth would I go out when it's raining? Why on earth would I go out when it's raining? And lastly, how on earth did you get here? One more time. How on earth did you get here? How on earth did you get here? So that's a combination of you're surprised but also happy. And hopefully listening to the way I said those 5 sentences, you caught on that the emphasis is actually on the on earth bit of the sentence. So that's how you use that phrase. Second to last phrase in this chapter, guys, we have you're running a little behind today. And that just means that you're running a little bit late. So do you want to repeat after me? You're running a little behind today. One more time. You're running a little behind today. You're running a little behind today. Last one for this chapter, we have the word groggily. So if you've just woken up, or you're tired, or you're ill, you feel quite groggy. So you can't think clearly, and sometimes you can't even walk properly. So let's just say the word first, and then I'll give you a sentence. Groggily, groggily, or groggy, groggy. So for example, when I have drowsy medication, so medicine that makes me feel sleepy, then I feel really groggy after a nap. One more time. When I have drowsy medication, I feel really groggy after a nap. When I have drowsy medication, I feel really groggy after a nap. On to the last chapter, paging Mr. Tushman. The first thing I highlighted was what I pictured. And a different way of saying this is what I imagined. So for example, he doesn't look anything like what I pictured. One more time. He doesn't look anything like what I pictured. Next, we have the word mumble or mumbling, which is when you're not speaking very clearly and you're speaking very quietly. So others find it very difficult to hear what you're saying. So do you want to repeat after me? Mumble, mumbling. One more time. Mumble, mumbling. Mumble and mumbling. We're nearly there, guys, I promise. The second to last phrase we have is you're into science. And the phrase you're into basically means that you're interested in it. So, for example, I'm really into cooking and baking. One more time. I'm really into cooking and baking. So for me, I'm really into cooking and baking. And last one, we have electives, which is an additional subject that someone might choose to study alongside the subjects that they already have to study. So do you want to repeat after me? Electives. 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 Well, everyone, that is all the time that we have for today's video. And like always, thank you so much for watching and listening. And we will be progressing through the book Wonder slowly but surely. And in the meantime, continue practicing your English out loud, continue to speak it, continue to practice listening and reading exercises as well. But yeah, I will be back again next week. And so yeah, stay tuned for then, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!